Good afternoon, guys, gals. Good to see everybody. Missed you guys over the summer. What? You sense the sarcasm?
A little bit.
I do. I actually do. You know, this is a great time of the year for an NBA head coach. I'm excited about training camp. It's a great time of the year. You got football, full swing. You got the baseball playoffs right around the corner, and you got 30 days of NBA training camp. It's an area that we've always felt that we utilize all 30 days to improve, to get better, and this is no different. I anticipate a very competitive training camp. There is starting lineups to be fought for. There are minutes to be competed for, and this is where you make those decisions after 30 days. Exhibition has always been important to us. We're looking forward to the group of guys that we have. We have a large number of guys returning, guys that I'm excited about, guys that I've seen the improvement over the summer. And then Sam's did a great job of adding a few players to the group. And we have 4 guys that are trying to fight for a spot in the free agency department. But it's a group that I'm excited about. Looking forward to the practice tomorrow. But I've seen the guys the last couple of days, and I sense that I see their excitement also. So it's a great opportunity for all of us to continue to go into training camp with a great mindset, which our guys have.
Scott said starting lineup decision being fought for.
Yes.
We know Cabo's gone, but how about at center? Is that not settled in your mind with Perk and Steven?
Well, I think the 30 days will determine the best group. I've always had a philosophy that, you know, you have a basketball team of guys that have a skill set, some areas that are stronger than other areas, but we always have to have that defensive mindset. That's what made us a very good team over the years, that we've had that approach. Minutes will be fought for, starting lineups will be fought for. But I think Stevens has improved over the years. I mean, over last season. Perk is obviously will be reevaluated with his quad injury within the next few weeks. But I think you need all players to compete at the level we want to compete at. It's always about professionalism. It's always about sacrifice. So no matter who we put in the lineup, I have a lot of respect for the entire team to step in and fill the role that we ask that particular player to fill. But it's open. It's open, and we will see as this training camp evolves.
So if you decided that it's better to start Steven, you think that's something Perk could deal with fairly good because he's always been a starter on a late team?
Yeah, I've been around Perk quite a few years now. One thing about Perk, he cares about winning, and he cares about his teammates, and he's given us a great opportunity over the years to put us in a good position to compete for championships year in, year out. He's a big part of the team. Whether he starts or whether he doesn't start, he's going to fill a role that we need. And same with Steven. But I think that will be determined as this play or as the preseason evolves, and we have plenty of time to see that kind of work its way out.
Is the starting backcourt of 2-6-3 guys too small?
That's a great question. It's something that I've thought about over the summer. They're definitely, you're talking about Reggie starting. I think one thing I love about Reggie, he's always been a professional. He's always sacrificed. And another thing I love about him, he's from the first day we had him, he's focused on improving. He didn't play much his rookie year, but he didn't put his head down and pout. He competed, and he's fought for everything that he has received so far. And whether he starts or not, it's really about how we play as a group. We have options. That's what makes me excited going into training camp. We have options on in that spot, that particular 2-guard spot, and we know Russell is the point guard. I believe Russell's the best point guard in basketball, and that's happening over time. And I've seen Russell's every practice, every game, every film session, and he has really put a lot of time into being the best point guard in basketball. But whether starting two small guards, they definitely will play quite a bit together. But we'll see how that plays itself out during training camp.
What are you looking, when you just look at that position, you kind of had a defensive guy there at top over the last several years. Is that what you're looking for? What are you looking for in that other two guard spot, I guess?
Well, I look at our team as a defensive team first and foremost. How great Kevin is offensively, and Russell and Serge has really improved his offensive game. I look at those guys as defensive guys first. I think to have the team that we have year in, year out, you have to have all five guys on the floor committed to the defensive end. It's not by surprise, and the analytics that I really look at is defensive field goal percentage. It's not by surprise we've been in the top five the last 3 or 4 years, is because all five guys committed to that end. So no matter who we put in there, they're going to have to commit to that defensive end. And I look for two-way players. And two-way players are not just a guy that can defend and shoot threes. There's all kinds of different ways to impact the offensive end of the floor, whether you're an offensive rebounder, whether you're a slasher, whether you're a ball mover, a ball screener, or a three-point shooter. Obviously, we like three-point shooting from our perimeter guys. It's an area that Sam did a great job of picking up Anthony Morrow. He's one of the best. Kevin has always been one of our best three-point shooters, but now we have somebody that has a better percentage than Kevin. He shot 45% last year. So I think looking at that position, definitely has to be a defensive guy, but all five guys have to be able to say that they're coming out and playing defense.
Coach, you just mentioned, Kevin, Russell, Serge all being defensive-minded. Is this, in terms of their leadership on both ends of the floor, how have you noticed their progression as kind of a trio over the last 5, 6, 7 years?
Well, they've been thrown into the fire at a young age, and from coaching them, I have a lot of respect of what they've done. As they've been leaders, they've still trying to figure out how their game is going to evolve as NBA players. And I think as the last few years have gone by, they're not worried about their game. They've improved in that area, and now they're just focusing on being great leaders. And Russell's really, and Kevin and Serge, but I think Russell and Kevin's really made a big step the last 2 or 3 years in that department of really leading our guys, not only on the court during the 48 minutes, but off the court, on the bus, in the hotel, in the locker room. Those are areas where the players really look at you. They really see how you really are as a leader. And they've demonstrated that they're great leaders, and they've done a fabulous job of leading our team.
Scott, can you have you reflected much on the kind of postseason Serge had last year, battling his calf injury and playing through it? And also, what do you expect from him to expand on his role this season?
Yeah, with his injury, I admire his resiliency. Just to continue to fight, put himself in a position to help the team win. He's always had that mindset. From the day one when I had difficult with Serge communicating with him. He didn't really understand the English language very well. And I look at how he's improved in that area. That's hard to do, on top of learning the culture and then learning our system and then getting along and integrating himself with the basketball team. But he's done a great job. And the thing I love, not only Serge, but with all of our guys, they've never used Serge's injury or even the year before Russell's injury as an excuse. I've never heard one guy bring that up, and I have a lot of respect for that. We've always talked about no excuses, and our guys have really shown me that they believe that. And there's a lot to be said about that, and I really appreciate that with not only him but all of our guys that we have in our team. And improving, he's gotten bigger and stronger. I think he's had a great work in with Team Spain, and he's worked prior to that with our group before he went overseas. He's ready. He's ready to improve another step. I think he's done that. He's one of the best mid-range shooters, and I thought last year he even showed that he's going to make corner threes, and even at the end of the year he's hit a couple of straight ahead threes. I think as his game continues to evolve, he's going to be able to do that more. But I think he still has to get better at finishing around the rim, and I think that's an area that he wanted to improve on, and we will see as this season takes form.
Coach, I know you don't control every variable, but you've had some time to look back at last season. You've got your pieces in place for this season. What needs to happen for this team to take the next step?
Well, I have a great amount of respect for that next step. We're close. We've been close for a few years now. A lot of teams will love to be in this position. It's a very competitive league. And as we know, the Western Conference is very good from top to bottom. So it's the little things that we have to continue to build on. And the little things are not just diving on the ball for a loose ball or, fighting for a defensive rebound, blocking out the free throw line. The loose balls, the little things are also, if you have an open shot, shoot it. If you have an extra pass, make it. And those are the things that we're going to continue to improve on, and we have. We've done that over the years. But this is an area, over the course of the summer, I wanted to figure out ways to get better. And I think our guys have done that, even on the offensive end. 3 years ago, the last 3 years we've been in the top 3 or 4 in scoring. But 3 years ago we were 30th in the league in assists. But we still were a very high-scoring team. 2 years ago we dropped down to 22. And I think last year, it was either 13 or 14. It might have been 13. But our scoring is still the same. So that's another area that we want to continue to improve on. And a lot of times you want it now. You want these guys to be in their prime now. But I think what's happened over the years, that they not only are becoming very good basketball players, they're learning how to play with one another. They're making the game easier for one another. And I want to see another jump in that area. And our players do also. They want to make improvement in all areas of the game, not just offense, but on the defensive end also.
Not sure how much you've worked with Mitch at this point, but do you feel like he's a guy that can maybe come in and contribute right away, or is he a ways away?
Well, I haven't worked with a whole lot. During Summer League and then parts of the remaining time of the summer, and then the last few weeks. The thing I love about Mitch, he has a motor. He seems to always be on. Whether it's offense and running down the court and banging into somebody, setting the screen, he has that. And that's one of the things I like in players, that you don't have to turn them on. They're ready to play. There's a learning curve, and it's not just for bigs, smalls, great players. Kevin had a learning curve. Russell, Mitch is going to be no different. He's going to have a learning curve. We don't know. I don't know what that curve will be, but I know one thing, that we will push him. We will demand the level of play on the practice court and on the game floor, but he will also demand that of himself. I love self-motivated players. I think that's how you win the game of basketball, with having self-motivated players. And Sam did a great job of finding him and drafting him, and we're excited to continue to work him as this season progresses.
Thanks, Coach.
See you guys.